Hello, LinkedIn and YouTube family. It's a great to have you all here for these critical conversations on AI/ML and the role of data privacy in product innovation. It's a Friday afternoon here in US. As we all know, AI is transforming industries, finance, healthcare, retail, data privacy, and cybersecurity. But there is one common challenge. How do we balance innovation with responsibility? Today, we are diving into this with a special guest, my friend Aswajit Mohapatra, a technologist and an AI/ML product strategist who has built scale AI-driven products while ensuring privacy is the key differentiator. Aswajit, welcome to this show.
Thanks, Dr. Damo. Really excited and really grateful to attend the show. Looking forward to it.
All right. So, to those who are watching, what is your biggest concern when it comes to AI and data privacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We will try to answer it once the live session is over. Let's talk about this shift. Privacy as an enabler, not a barrier. Aswajit, many organizations still view privacy as a compliance requirement rather than a strategic advantage. What is your take on that?
Yeah, that's an awesome question, I would say, Dr. Damo. I know. First of all, to give a background, right, AI/ML has unlocked tremendous possibilities for us, right, as we integrate deeper into the business and society. So, treating privacy as a compliance checkbox, I believe, is a legacy mindset. You know, companies who are not reactive, not sorry, proactive, use that as a checkbox of compliance. For companies, modern day companies who treat proactiveness as their asset, treat data privacy as the pillar of success. That's the core of their product rather than a compliance checkbox. That's the core asset or an USP or a unique selling point and a value prop for their product rather than a compliance checkbox. For example, like reactive organizations, they build AI scramble through privacy issues later. They just build the features and privacy is just last. So when any issues comes up, they fix costs. There are cost issues, compliance risks, and customer trust issues, right? Then they fix it. So it's very costly. But companies, who are reactive, they build when they build a product, AI/ML product. So privacy, user consent, these are very important factors they take into account, and that's why they build a competitive advantage, winning the trust of customers. The legal immunity and long-term relationship with the customers is built. you know I can give you an example of a big company like, say, Apple. Like, they treat the entire brand is around privacy for Apple, because the AI and ML features are designed with differential privacy policies on device processing, encrypted communication. All these are, customers love it. The fingerprint scanning, facial recognition, they're always ahead of the curve. Before technology is there, they always do 5 year ahead research, and AI/ML data privacy is on top of their mind when they do that research, because that's the access point when users log in. So there is no reason to question. Regulators don't even have a thought that, okay, there is any way to question this is a pioneer. So every company, I think, should follow that footstep, kind of Apple like companies, if they really want to be at that level. In short, yeah, that would be
Yeah,
it.
yeah, brilliant point. If I reiterate what you talk about reactive versus the proactive organization. So reactive organizations, they build AI fast, then scramble to fix a privacy issue later. But where proactive organizations, they treat privacy as a competitive advantage, right? Winning trust. Then you told about legal immunity, then long-term customer relationship. That is the unique selling proposition for them. You are spot on. So the future belongs to those businesses that see privacy as a value proposition rather than a regulatory hurdle, right? So let's move to why AI/ML privacy is more critical than ever. So let's break it down. So why is data privacy now? at the forefront of AI discussions?
Yeah, these are very important factors. Why is data privacy? I mean, what are the major forces, right? So the data always grows whenever there is AI ML. Data is the bedrock, and it's obvious that data grows over time, and it's very difficult if we don't model AI ML architectures based on the scale of data growth. I mean, the growth aspect of that scaling. So there are a lot of legal, I mean, the laws which are there, like GDPR, CCPA in California, and
CPRA, yeah,
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 CPRA, and India's DPDP Act, which has recently come on, right? So they're like limiting that free access, and this companies need privacy friendly AI architectures, at the beginning, just not to comply with those laws, but to be ahead of that, to ahead of the trend for the data growth. I mean, the scaling of the data. So the customers demand transparency also, right? So the data should be transparent. The We know that, okay, how likely the customer is basically able to buy, and how likely their AI is designed to understand the user consent aspects, and how the data of the customer is used. Like, we had a lot of fines due to that. So we just want to understand the data is used properly, and the users are transparent of how their data is being used, and that is a table stake, actually, a feature for any AML product. Then privacy can even breach business killers, right? We have seen companies with millions of dollars of fine, as we were talking before, right? So we have to be very cognizant of that fact, and reputation damage, customer, I mean, trust loss. This can kill big companies. That can be a killer. So I would say, yeah, uh, table stakes, but asset, right? These are the two things we should take into account when we are designing any AML product. So this is mandatory, data privacy.
absolutely, absolutely. Even also, if I add one thing, what you told, the privacy or the data breaches also lead to synthetic fraud, right? And synthetic fraud lead to a lot of
Yeah.
financial crime, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
so these three factors like regulation, consumer trust,
Mm.
and security risk, really shaping the next decade of AI, and companies that do not adopt will definitely struggle in future, right? So let's
Yeah.
get into this next segment: how to embed privacy into AI ML products. So let's say, let's be practical. How can organization design AI products that are privacy first?
Hmm.
Aswajit?
Yeah, those are great questions again, right? How I would say there are some strategies product managers should build in when they're designing AIML products, right? Privacy, when you build a product, right, design is an important factor. Like, whenever you do user empathy or something, right? Design, when you do designing, both from the UX and the product manager's point of view, privacy should be embedded in that design from day one, not as an afterthought. Like, it should not come at the end. It should be
Right,
from the day one. Second, you minimize that, use data minimization, collect what's essential. That's also core of a product building. It should be minimum of clicks. The user should go to the core of the product. Similarly, data should be minimum. We don't need extra data, unnecessary data for users, which is not required for that product. Second, synthetic data, as you're speaking before, no,
yeah,
synthetic data and anonymization. So that instead of using real user data, we can always train models on synthetic data assets. That keeps the privacy risks at the minimum. So we will protect personal identities while maintaining AI accuracy, because PII data should, it's very critical that you protect that, and that can be heavy fines again if you don't do that. So we have to, that's a table stake again. Third is, we're talking about that federated learning process. Right? Instead of centralizing data, we should let models learn from the decentralized data sets without moving that personal data. We have a uh, model to learn the data instead of giving all the data, centralizing data. So just like Google, right?
yeah,
They're doing this in Android or healthcare AI, right? They are not. They are having a decentralized architecture. Even Coinbases and a lot of Web3 is built on that concept itself. Decentralization architecture. So that's core. Fourth, I would say, is AI driven compliance, automation of that compliance. So we should monitor the data users when they're coming in, the consent is compliant. Again, we should flag violation in real time, and we should have a automation of when we are purging that data, how much time it is stored, and when it is purged, where it is going out, when the users are out of the system, are they still in the system or not, right? That data purging and automation of data purging is important to drive compliance, because it's very difficult to do it manually, I would say.
Great points. Great points. So these strategies are not just theory.
Hmm.
Leading AI first companies are implementing, them today. I mean, those who want to be the early mover, actually they do it on the day one. Well said, Sujit. Let's talk about the biggest mistake companies make, right? So what are the biggest pitfalls you see when companies ignore AI privacy?
Yeah. So yeah, biggest pitfall, as we already talked about, minimization of data, right? Over collecting data. That's the
Yeah,
biggest pitfall. So we're building a real estate app, for example. We don't need to build all the marketing data, everything at the beginning. Example, right? Minimization, like minimize the dimension of innovation is a core product building process. So minimize the dimension of innovation, build the MVP, build very less, collect very less data. That will like negate your risk. Second, we don't have data governance framework. What are the policies of data? Who is using that data? What is the access? That data governance is very critical for any data AIML system, right? So
yeah,
that structured policies for data handling, access, and type of data, all that dictionary of data, everything should be maintained, and that's something we ignore. That should be there. Third, unregulated third party data sharing, right? Third party is any B2B data sharing, right? Anything going out of the organization is a risk. If it is inside, it's fair, but whenever we cross the firewall of any organization, that's a very high compliance scenario we have to take care of. B2B third party data sharing. Fourth, ignoring the transparency we already talked about, that users should know how the models are using the data, right? They should not be ignorant of how their data is being used. Should always keep the users transparent of how the data is being used, I would say, in short.
superb.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, these are the serious mistakes, well said, but they are avoidable with the right mindset and tools, right? So let's talk about the
Yeah.
future, the AI and privacy as a competitive edge. So let's wrap up with a look at the future. Where do you see AI privacy heading in the next 5 years? What is your prediction, Aswajit?
Yeah, so AI, I mean, it depends on the domain again. I mean, I don't want to go to the numbers, but AI will grow rapidly. We'll go to augmented AI, artificial general intelligence, and very, top level aspects of AI. So we have to do a policy of self-regulating the privacy concerns of AI. It should not be like we do manually. So we should have algorithms built in to auto detect any compliance risks, as we spoke in the last section. Also, it should be very real time. Even in AML product marketing products or any product, real time trigger is important. Similar to that, real time monitoring of AML risk, I mean privacy risk in the AML products is critical. Second, right, privacy, the enhancement techniques, we call it PET, right? That will dominate.
Hmm.
Techniques like say encryption, differential privacy, homomorphic encryption. All these are gonna evolve a lot, and we should keep that in mind when you're designing the future AML product, like futuristic product, like, 5 year down the line. Kind of think ahead of the curve. Then ethics. I spoke a lot about ethics also before. Responsible AI ethical, right, policies. This builds a trust among the user base, right? When you are ethical, even as a person or as a company or as a product, right, that builds a trust that this guy or this company is building product which are sorry, it's cutting off. Yeah, which are like
No, it's a
really,
continue. Hmm.
yeah, which is
Go on.
which are taking care of the ethical concerns of AI, and we are building AI/ML product responsibly, which is not only in the customer base. The investors have a faith on you, the companies, regulators, everybody has faith that the company is building responsibly the AI system, which is not harming the society. It is not biasing any aspect, any member of the society or any religion of the society. It's very fair and responsible AI, just to take care of the society or we human beings as a race. I mean, very fair policies. That's ethics, responsible AI are, I think, very, 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 very important.
Absolutely. No, no, well said. I appreciate your insight. So AI and data privacy will coexist as a growth enabler, not blockers. So companies that get this right will lead the AI economy, right? So great discussion we had, Sujit. I like the deep dive, and AI and privacy are not opposing forces. They are two sides of the same coin. So for those watching, here is a challenge for you. Does your AI strategy prioritize privacy from day one? Are you using privacy enhancing technology, PETs we call it, to gain customer trust? Is your company seeing privacy as a compliance burden or a competitive advantage, right? So drop your thoughts in the comments and tag someone who should be thinking about this. Also follow Aswajit and me for more insights on AI, digital transformation, and data privacy. So Aswajit, thank you for joining on a Friday afternoon. And until next time, stay innovative, stay secure, and keep leading the future. Any final thought, Aswajit, you want to talk to our audience?
No, it was really awesome talking with you. We should keep doing it. This the really great questions you asked, which allowed me to answer a few aspects of
All
data
right.
privacy. So definitely excited. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And see you next time. Bye bye.